I'm sure you have some sort of plan set for the future. Typically, it's getting a career, working 9 to 5, eventually get married, have kids, and have a family. Grow too old to enjoy life, retire, then finally get a chance to do so. That is, try to enjoy life. The majority of American people share this plan. They call it the American Dream. But you're wrong, the American Dream is expired. It's more like the worst nightmare.
To be a world leader, you have to have followers that trust you enough to lead. They got your trust through fear, and fear alone. Currently, this is the most unsafe time in human history. Do you feel safe? I don't. Fear is what I'm feeling. A new and different type of fear. Everybody knows something is wrong. Wrong with the climate, politics, Hollywood, religion, at the same time of walking blindly into a new war.
Guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Wernher von Braun, also known as the father of the rocket, some call him the father of space travel. He was responsible for creating the rocket that took us to the moon. He eventually became the director of NASA. What you're about to see is a recording of Carol Rosin talking about what was expressed to her on his deathbed.
This card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens, and all of it, he said, is a lie. A lie. I think I was too naive to know at that time the seriousness of the nature of the spin that was being put on the system. And now, the pieces are starting to fall into place.
Wernher von Braun was the director of NASA, and on his deathbed he did express that the United States has been covering up an agenda that he knew about. He said, "We have been weaponizing space for a false flag alien invasion." This is warned that the event would take place in the middle of World War III, and then unite us all under a one world government, thinking that the whole world would have to work together to fight an alien invasion, to help the United States build a new world order.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders. Our goal is not the conquest of Iraq. It is the liberation of Kuwait. It is my hope that somehow the Iraqi people can, even now, convince their dictator that he must lay down his arms, leave Kuwait, and let Iraq itself rejoin the family of peace-loving nations.
We are finally going to lead again. You see what's happening? You see the rockets going up left and right. You haven't seen that for a long time. going to Mars. You wouldn't have been going to Mars if my opponent won. And I can tell you, you wouldn't even be thinking about it. Space is a warfighting domain, just like the land, air, and sea. We may even have a space force. We may even have a space force. Space force.
December 20th, 2019, President Trump officially puts together the United States Space Force as the newest branch of military. 2019, COVID-19 has been unleashed onto the world known as the coronavirus. 2020, COVID-19 is officially considered by the world a pandemic. Strange. Just before that, we were seeing rockets going up left and right. 2020, the Pentagon officially acknowledges UFOs are real and changes the acronym from UFO to UAP. The military releases 3 unidentified aerial phenomenon videos, and that the government takes it serious for the first time in history. 2023, the first U.S. congressional hearing on UAPs, or the older acronym known as UFOs, is held with whistleblower David Grush, one of the most highest top officials to ever come forward and admit that the U.S. government has been covering up a UFO recovery program for decades.
Has been harmful activity or aggressive activity. Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured. And the activity...
By UAPs or by people within the federal government?
Both.
Okay, so there has been activity by alien or non-human technology and or beings that has caused harm to humans.
I can't get into the specifics in an open environment, but at least the activity that I personally witnessed, and I have to be very careful here because they tell you never to acknowledge tradecraft, right? So what I personally witnessed myself and my wife was very disturbing.
Also admitting that the U.S. has been retrieving and has off-world non-human vehicles and non-human biologicals. The words UAPs and non-humans were used instead, making this a new vision in the public's mind of what we are dealing with. In 2024, today, we have worldwide events happening all at the same time. Von Braun, on his deathbed, he said many more things, which we'll get into. Everything he said is kind of falling into place. It looks like now, with our border completely open in the middle of World War III, that this is a definite starting place of a one-world government, allowing the entire world, inviting the entire world to come through a world takeover by a one-world government. Crazy sounding, right? Well, what if I can show you a lot more to maybe make you think differently? So how long have we really had a Space Force? Well, a lot longer than you think. And we're about to get into all that right now. But you need to first subscribe with notifications so you can see that part when it comes out next week. So we can continue doing our part on giving you more videos and content such like this. Help spread the word. Subscribe. Send it to your friend. Help us out. a small channel like us needs to be bigger for the world to change.